Jason, great to see you, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely. Finally, we made it happen.
We made it happen. And how's life going today, brother?
It's good. I'm glad the week is over. I got football preseason on behind me with starters. There's starters still in the game right now, which is always beautiful. And I wanted to check in with you for a little bit, and then head downtown and see what's happening tonight.
Absolutely. Downtown is always a good time. I love the El Cortez.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorite places to go to, brother.
That parlor lounge is awesome. And it's kind of like it's like South Point's older brother, which I'm always at the South Point too. So it's a perfect match.
The South Point is a great place. Like, I'm very good friends with, Michael Libinati, who actually runs the entertainment. He's a coordinator over there for the entertainment coordinating. And he's just a wonderful guy. Like we went back and forth about Star Wars forever. Like we even off air, like we just keep talking about it. What a great guy and a great operation they have over there. And what a wonderful casino. And they have great entertainment.
Well, I saw that you guys did a podcast together, and I listened to some of that. My mom, Michael's my mom's boss. She hasn't been working for a while because she's been fighting an illness. But so that's another reason why I would always be over there. And in fact, he just emailed me today with the lineup for this month of some of their acts that are coming in town. So. I like the classic yacht rock, so they get some concerts in that I like to go see.
They have Tower of Power over there.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right, so let's dive right into music. All right. Okay. I know you're a big music fan.
Yeah.
You like classic rock. You see, I'm rocking a Toto shirt right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, did you hear about what happened at the Golden Nugget with Ambrosia? Did you hear what happened the other what was it, like 2 weeks ago?
I haven't heard that, no.
So Ambrosia, being one of my favorite yacht rock bands, goes without saying. They have so many hits. But so I went on Friday, and I'm friends with David Gilly, who's kind of like the Michael Libinati of the Golden Nugget showroom director. And, I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm going. That was the first concert I saw since the pandemic there. And he was like, okay, cool. He's like, can they have a new lead singer? And I was like, all right, that's good, because the last lead singer, I really wasn't a big fan of, mostly because I felt like he kind of made it about himself. And you don't do that with Ambrosia. I mean, it's not about some new lead singer. It's about the group and the hits they've had over the years. So anyway, I thought he was a little bit out of place. David tells me they hired a new guy who's kind of like has a little bit history of them. He's 61 years old, from Venice Beach. Those guys are from San Pedro. It's perfect. And, they know each other. Then, so that was early in the week. Then on Thursday, I get another text from him saying, that lead singer I was telling you about, his son has COVID. So he's not going to be performing. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the worst concert ever. And I was like, but I'll go anyway, because they, how bad will he screw it up with the guys behind him? So then Friday comes around. They were doing the sound check. David texts me and says, dude, they just did the rehearsals. They sound amazing. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. So it turns out they were able to get a guy last second to come in and do the concert. And it turns out he actually was in the band, but he hasn't performed with Ambrosia since 2008. That was the first time he's been on stage with Ambrosia. Killed it, nailed it. He was with them for, from the 80s to 2008. But here's where it all comes full circle. The reason they don't hire him full time is because he's the bass player for Toto.
No kidding.
Yes. Yeah, Shem. His name is Shem.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with him. I actually worked with Bobby Kimball, original lead singer of Toto, that won, I think, 6 Grammys. and is a great friend of mine, and it was such a privilege. Like, I'm a huge, huge Toto fan, and I'm a big fan of the '80s, man. Like Boston, REO Speedwagon, Scorpions. Come on, bro. Does it get any better than that?
No, in fact, Night Ranger is going to be at Westgate tomorrow night. That's right up there with that genre.
Yes, sir.
And then, did you go to the Toto concert a few years back over at Sunset Station and outdoors?
I did not know.
That was amazing. They sounded really good.
Oh, so you went and saw Toto out there?
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
And they sounded awesome.
Yeah, they sounded great. So they all do. It's very rare that you find a group from the 70s and 80s that don't still sound good.
You know, the thing is, like, I'm a big Rush fan. I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan. I'm a big everything from yesteryear fan.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Me too.
And oh, absolutely. Like, I got Led Zeppelin tattooed right here, Fool in the Rain.
Nice.
On my arm, man. Yeah, dude.
That's good.
I'm a drummer. You know, I'm a musician by trade.
Uh-huh.
And you know, those bands, they just had something very special about them, that they just like they had a connection, and the bass players, the guitar players, the singers, like, there was so much passion in it. What I love about it, I'm going to tell you this, Jason, and what I love about it is that they did it in the studio, raw takes, with no cut, copy and paste. Like, they had to do it. Like, Bobby Kimball had told me that when he did the chorus of Africa, he's like, I sang that for like 17 hours. He's like, I just kept going, and it's not a copy and paste. He just kept doing it and doing it. And to work with him, though, he's a consummate professional. He was amazing. And speaking about being a consummate professional, you guys at Fox in the morning get me kicked off, like, to my day the way I want it. You guys make the news fun. All right.
Thank you.
We absolutely thank you for getting us grounded and getting us, you know, out and about. And obviously you're 3-time Emmy Award winning, you know, journalist. You've been in the game for 24 plus years in the business. In 2005, you got like you won for the best anchorman in news for Nevada Broadcasting Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah.
You know, you worked for E. You interviewed like everybody under the sun. Can I ask you a question? What got you started, man?
So I started I went to University of Arizona. And it's funny because Arizona State is actually the school that has the better, I hate to say it, because, you know, Alyssa and Cassandra and several people at Fox 5 went to Arizona State. But I have to admit, they have a better journalism and broadcast program. It's the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Now, I joke that University of Arizona is the Geraldo Rivera School of Journalism because he went there. But yeah, it's not. I mean, it's obviously not. It's a great radio television program over there. But I went to school for it. And I still didn't really know that I was going to become a news anchor and a news reporter and an entertainment reporter as well at E! I just kind of got into it knowing I wanted to do something. I still wasn't sure if it was going to be more Hollywood based because I did grow up in Southern California and did a little bit of that stuff when I was younger. And then just a crazy chain of events happened. And I wound up working for radio in Tucson. Not the campus station, but actually the #1 top 40 station. And I was getting worried because it was like my senior year and I still didn't really have any focus. And my fraternity brother was working at the radio station in sales. And so I asked him, I'm like, hey, Ari, you know, I just got to do something. My parents are like, you know, wondering where the tuition is going and all that. I just got to, you know, do something. So I got in Tucson and was working in sales, just learning as an intern how to you know, sell. But what I took a liking to is, I don't know if you know this, but the sales execs for radio in a smaller market, they write the commercials. So if you sell, you know, if you go to Bella Vita and sell them advertising, you have to write the copy for the radio commercial. Well, they hated it because they're not really creative people. They're salespeople. So I was writing all of the copy for the commercials, and they can, with the way I am, I made them funny. So they took a liking to that. The on-air side of KRQ was noticing that I had a personality that wasn't really for sales, and they invited me to go out on what's called the Saturday Night Party Patrol in this obnoxious yellow van with purple writing, and go out to like high school football games, birthday parties, typical top 40 stuff. They call, they're like, they have a birthday, we come over, play a few songs and leave and go to the next event. So I did that, and that is what started the whole on-air Jason Feinberg, which I was known as Jason the Rookie, which was easy because it was my first time ever doing anything like that. And then from there, I went to Palm Springs, which is where I got my first television gig at KMIR in Palm Desert. So that was the beginning of it.
That's an amazing story. And here's what's up is that you talked about sales. Okay. Yeah. Do you remember Don West from Shop at Home Collectibles?
Sounds familiar.
When he used to yell at people about McGuire rookie cards. I got Sammy Sosa, PSA 10. So I'm going to transfer over to sports. And Don West is a great guy. Had him on my show. Awesome. I know you're a big sports fan. And I know that you're actually going to, WWE event tomorrow at Allegiant Stadium, and what a wonderful stadium that is. I did a commercial out there for the Raiders, which I thought that stadium is top notch.
Sure.
But let me ask you, what's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport would be NFL football, followed by hockey. So it's perfect. I mean, the Las Vegas market is perfect for me. Who knew that our first two professional sports were going to be hockey and football? So I'm in heaven. I definitely have to, it takes a little bit when you have a team that's already been in existence, like the Raiders. They definitely have a niche audience. I'm not opposed to the Raiders at all. I was never really a fan of the Raiders, even though I grew up in LA. We were more of a Rams family than a Raiders family. But that said, I'm a kind of an open slate. My guy was Peyton Manning, along with half the country. But I got a chance when I worked at E to interview him twice.
Wow.
For the ESPY Awards. Most people at E don't like sports. So when I had the opportunity to be the reporter to go out and do the ESPY Awards, I was volunteering. And so I interviewed him one year, and he was great. The next year, same thing on the red carpet. And I'm sure the publicist told him in advance, but I was flattered that he knew my name. And, I was on E every day for a while. So maybe he actually did know my name. He did watch E. I believe it. I believe, because he was able to quote, he's very smart. So he was quoting X's and O's of entertainment. It was hilarious. We did a whole shtick with, give me the X's and O's of E. And it was really funny, what he did. But anyway, so I became a Peyton Manning fan. I literally would go to Colts games in Indy, and then I went to Broncos games in Denver. So I walked the walk and talked the talk. And then when he retired, I kind of, I got so wrapped up in fantasy football and the crazy parlays that I do, and wind up always one game short of winning, right? That I don't really have a team. I just kind of root for whoever I'm betting on, whoever I'm playing. I did for a while really like going to Pittsburgh. I would go to Heinz Field when they had the Killer Bees. They had Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. That was fun to actually see live. But other than that, yeah. Who's your team?
For me, unfortunately, I'm originally from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the Giants.
Okay.
New York Giants. But they play in New Jersey because that's where the stadium really is.
Right.
Let's face facts.
Yeah.
And but they've been terrible. Now that we have a team out here in Vegas, I'm going to be a front runner. I'm going to be that guy and be like, okay, I'm a Raiders fan now.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that we have sports out here in Vegas. We live in one of the greatest cities in the world. You're originally from California. I'm originally from New Jersey.
Right.
But at the same time, like, now we're in Vegas and we have sports. We have great sports, hockey, football, maybe baseball coming in. And plus we have boxing and mixed martial arts. Those are my favorite sports, to be honest with you, boxing and mixed martial arts. I love me some boxing, UFC. We got Manny Pacquiao coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
And we also have some WWE. You're going to be at SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm not joking. You probably watched this morning. I'm not joking when I tell you. Now, I did embellish the fact that I probably wasn't at the fight where Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant, but that's when I was going to those events. I saw Andre the Giant in Battle Royal, Hulk Hogan, the whole works. So it's legit. I don't know if I was I just wanted to use the clip. So I said I was at that event, but which is what we showed this morning, which by the way was incredible to watch Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant. Yeah, I'm excited. I have not been since the 80s. I haven't been since it was the WWF, and I used to love those guys. So for me, I'm excited about it. So me and a couple guys from Fox 5 will go, it will be a lot of fun. And I had a chance to interview Bobby from WWE, who's fighting Goldberg. So Langley. So that was cool to kind of get the inside scoop on that fight. But,
Bobby Lashley was excellent. I actually caught that. Yeah. I caught that this morning. And I had the opportunity by John Greco, who actually was the showrunner, entertainment coordinator for the Golden Knights original. And now he's moved on to other things, and he's working in Seattle right now for the Krakens, the hockey team. Like, great guy. He hooked me and my family up with amazing tickets. Let me tell you something, man. Like, these wrestlers, and I do stunts and I do things, in films and whatever. They were, when I saw the WWE wrestlers throw each other on tables, when I saw them throw each other through whatever they were throwing through the canvas or whatever, I'm like, I can't believe how athletic these people are. It's amazing.
I mean, it's it's all mapped out and everything, but you can't fake that stuff.
No.
So that's why a lot of them, they unfortunately they die at a young age. I mean, what's it? Jake the Snake was living in Henderson, poor guy. Yeah. Oh, I have a quick thing to make you feel better about your East Coast football team. So my first year in fantasy football, back when I met Peyton, that's what got me started with all my buddies in Manhattan Beach, California. First year, didn't know much about what I was doing. And my first two picks, you're going to love this. This would have been back in about 2003. First two picks, Tiki Barber and Curtis Martin. Okay. My group of 12 were laughing at me. They're like, you're taking those bums. And that was the year that they both went off and had career seasons. And I wound up making it to the finals. It was awesome. So I have to, mad respect to my East Coast fantasy football players.
That's why I was laughing and stepped away from the mic, because I'm like, you got it. I'm like, you picked that?
Yes.
How did you see that?
I bought a magazine and I noticed that both of them had a lot of yards. Now, of course, they both had a lot of turnovers, and I think that's what the guys in my league were thinking. They're like, these guys can't hold on to the ball. But if you looked at their yards, they were consistently running down the field a lot. It was funny. It was like I had so much talent on this team. We could only start 2 running backs, and I wound up picking up. Remember Larry Johnson, the running back for the Chiefs? He was having a great year, but we could only start 2 running backs, and there was no flex. So I was like I can't think of the term, but it was like I was wealthy of running backs, and I didn't know which ones to start every week because they were all that good.
You had logic.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
crazy.
You went in with logic.
Yeah, but no, that was good. And then since then it has been kind of a struggle, especially for the Jets. But the Giants, I don't know. I think the Giants will. They have a chance to have a good year. I'm not gonna say they don't, like some teams.
I'm a big baseball fan. I love the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
And I love going out here in Vegas at the ballpark. It's a remarkable experience, and I just love that Vegas is like picking up sports in a big way. I mean, we've always had the combat sports, but now we're starting to get like the more baseball, football, and that minor league team that we have out here is wonderful, and it's a great experience. Have you been in that ballpark?
Yeah. I've been to the new one. Of course, went to the old one at Cashman. But no, it's a beautiful stadium, and
Amazing.
we could have baseball too. And you said that, but we could have NBA and baseball. Yeah, and they have that section. We actually got a big group together for Fox 5 and went to a game, and they put us in that area with that bar indoors, which is where that was our perfect place for all the crazy morning people.
It's amazing up there. I've been up there, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and there's so many IPAs in there and like booze, and I'm like, I go there with my wife, and I'm like, wow, look at this. I open the refrigerator. I'm like, are they kidding me right now? Like, is this serious? What's your weapon of choice for the beers?
So I like the Hefeweizens. I like Blue Moon. I like Shock Top. Nothing absolutely manly. However, I did go to Dublin, and I did drink Guinness, and it was spectacular. It's not folklore. The Guinness back in Dublin is amazing. Better than in the US.
What do you think makes it better? Is it just like because it's like from there?
It's fresher.
It's fresher. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And Jameson, you got Jameson out there. I'm a Jack drinker. I'm drinking it now, but I've never been one to turn down any whiskey. So I drink that more than I drink beer. But I do like the Blue Moon, the Shock Top, and anything that has a little bit of that wheat and sweet to it.
You know what? I'm like a sake guy nowadays. Like, dude, sake's amazing.
Hot or cold?
Cold.
Yeah.
Ice. Yeah. Ice cold. We went out, like me, the wife, and the kid. We went out to Hibachi, and I'm like, you know what? Let me order something different. And instead of having the usual beer or vodka club soda, I'm like, let me try this sake. Let's see what's up with the sake.
Yeah.
So I get it. And I was like, I had a body high, bro. I felt so good. I'm like, this is making me really satisfied and happy. And then they could tell I was a little like twisted, like.
Yeah, it's strong.
It's very strong.
Like rice alcohol. Have you done a sake bomb with the beer?
Oh, of course. Of course.
That is fun.
What's your go-to sake bomb, bro?
I don't have a go-to one, but I just whatever they give me. I'm like I guess probably Asahi and whatever sake they give me. Hey, I'm gonna give you a Johnny Sig exclusive.
Okay.
This is rarely ever seen. Okay, hold on.
Let me do it. Let's do it.
Dr. Feinberg.
Oh, that was my next question. It's about the cats.
Look at her. She is literally cat-tonic right now.
So you got Dr. Feinberg, and then also, what is it? Katy Perry?
Katy Perry. She'd be a little bit harder to round up.
Okay, but, so I'm gonna grab my Chihuahua.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec.
Okay. Oh no! Oh, cute.
Here we go.
Oh.
Okay, so this is my Polly Peanuts. Polly Peanuts. We rescued her several years back, and she's got so much personality. And
she's big. I mean, she's like a little pudgy Chihuahua, which is great.
Exactly. Some people are like, what kind of breed is she? I'm like, she's a Chihuahua. He's like, it's kind of small, but a little thick.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I'm not trying to fat shame you, girl. I love you so much. You know that.
So cute.
She's already pissed off at me.
I like that. And like, actually, just like Dr. Feinberg, is it he or she, did you say? Polly, but girl, right?
Yeah, it's a girl. Yeah.
So the coloring, the markings are beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing. Like, and she's got like little brown spots like down below here and stuff like that.
And it's great adopting too. It is so nice to rescue these pets.
Oh man.
Yeah.
100%. And she's like, the one thing I love about when you do that is that she's been having a great life. And then I see what you guys do on Fox News. That when, you talk about animals and rescue animals and people to adopt, like that's really important. And, like the thing is with her is that her health is the most important thing to me.
Right.
So sometimes I look at her weight, brother. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, ooh, she's a little chunky. And sorry, honey. I'm sorry. I gotta look at. She's like, you call me, you fat shaming me. But the thing is that, like, to know that she is in good health is the greatest thing.
Absolutely. She's loving life.
She's loving life, and she loves watermelon.
Watermelon. Okay,
that's her thing. What about your cats, man? Like, I was going to ask you that. That was the next question I had on my list. Is that I know you're a big cat guy. And what got you into the cat game? And tell me about your cats.
Okay, so going back to the same time of when I started in television back in Palm Desert, Palm Springs is not a cheap place to live. And I was not making money at the TV station because I told you I started in radio, so I didn't have any television background. So I had to basically intern, even though I was already graduated. But that's fine. It worked out well. So basically, I was volunteering. I'm like, hey, I really need to learn this business. Can I work with you guys? And I did. But I had to have a roommate. My roommate was the main anchor at that station. His name is Rob. So Rob and I had an apartment, and he was like, hey, do you want to get a pet for the apartment? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. So I didn't have time to go out with him to go get the pet because I was working, believe it or not, as a towel boy at a 5-star resort in Indian Wells, giving out towels to rich people and bachelorette parties. It was hilarious, and that's how I was making my money. So I was working like a double shift. I told him, I said, I don't care what you get. I don't care if it's an iguana or whatever. But if you get a cat, make sure it's black with white paws. And he's like, why? And I said, well, my aunt and uncle and cousins have a cat named Bootsy. And I always loved Bootsy. Obviously the boots were the white paws. So he's like, oh, okay. So he went out with my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time, who went to college with me. And that was another reason I wound up in Palm Springs, because I knew she was living there. So I had some support. So she went out with Rob. They come back. I get back from work, open the door to my apartment, and I see a black cat with white paws. And I'm like, oh, sweet. This is totally cool. And they're like, wait, there's more. And I'm like, what do you mean there's more? Turns out they went to the pet store. You know how when you walk into a pet store, there's that little box, the little pen where you could actually pet the dog or cat, the little one, whoever's on profile that day.
And you want to grab them all and bring them home.
And that's exactly what they did. There was 2 left. They took one out, and the other one, jumped on the glass like, where's my brother going? Where's my brother going? So of course they didn't have the heart not to take both of them. So that turned into Itchy and Scratchy, my original 2 cats that became very famous in Las Vegas before I got my girls now. Of course, they passed away. They were about 19 years old. They lived a great life.
Wow, that's a long time.
And they were with me at every TV station I ever worked at, including E! So they moved around a lot. I'm surprised they lived as long as they did.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what started it all. And then I just, because I grew up with dogs and I love dogs, but going from apartment to apartment to apartment, it's hard with a dog. And being away for so many hours of the day, that's also hard with the dog. And it just turned out where cats were just like me. Their personality, like their independence. And I always get 2 because they can keep each other company when I'm not there. And it's just worked out really well. They're so cool. I'm surprised that that there are cat haters.
It's amazing that what you talked about the hours that you guys put in. Like, I was talking to my wife about this. We watch Fox News every morning when we wake up, and again, thank you guys for making the news fun and very informative. And you know, I love the Moore show. I love everything that you guys do. Like, to be honest with you.
Oh, good.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to segue to that in a moment about your interview style, because I think it's very unique and I think it's very interesting. But it's like you guys start the day off, you know, but you guys go hard all day long.
Yeah. Yeah.
All day long. Like David Hall. He's out there all day.
Right.
Like 5 a.m. I could wake up and like go get like a snack or something in the middle. And there he is. And then like I turn on TV at like 11 o'clock in the morning and he's just wrapping things up. I'm like, man, you know, you guys work really hard. I got a question that this one's off, like, you know, off the top of my head. What is it like to put in all that talking? Like, that's like 6-7 hours of talking.
And that's probably why it took a little bit long for us to get together. And that's why I kind of wanted to do it now. Like, you know, like a Friday when I'm, you know, I have the weekend off, there's not as much hustle bustle. And I was able to nap and have some time to spend with you because usually after that shift, I don't like talking, you know, I mean, we talk all morning long. So for me, I eat lunch by myself. I go to the gym by myself. I don't like to talk at the gym. I don't have a trainer. You know, I do everything by myself. And I even travel by myself a lot. So that is, I think, how I do it is I kind of give it all in the morning, and then I'm pretty much, you know, on autopilot for the rest of the day. But yeah, during that 6-hour span, you know, even though, you know, and this year in particular, we have so much vacation time because of last year and COVID. So I fill in for Dave a lot and he fills in for me a lot. So I start at 5 in the morning and do basically his shift and my shift. Yeah, it is a lot. I kind of, the only thing I don't like is that we are repetitive, but we're always live. Every hour is different, but it's like, I don't have the time always to change the jokes. A lot of it's ad lib, so it doesn't matter. But you know, like you'll hear like a really cheesy, like the one that you clipped and tweeted with where we made the funny phone call.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Boring.
Right. So it was like, that's funny, but then I forget that we're going to be repeating it. And then I'm like, oh, I should have changed the joke. I should have changed, you know, maybe a name or two. And then I'm praying that people didn't watch the last hour because it's, you know, they're going to think it's like a repeat, or they're not going to think it's funny the next time or whatever. But if I can get to it and change it, I will. But yeah, that's the one thing. And there's nothing anybody can really do about it, is you kind of have to repeat the stuff, because coming up with 6 hours of brand new content every minute it's hard to do.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that's what's very impressive with what you guys do. All of you, you know, the whole team at Fox News in Vegas is remarkable. And I'm a musician, so I know about repetition.
Yeah.
I'm also an actor. I know about repetition. And it's hard. Like, I had to do like 10, 13, 15 takes of the same thing over and over again. And it's like, man, I got to keep it like enthusiastic. You guys are very funny. You play off each other very well, but you're also very informative.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great thing. It's a hybrid of the two. That we get our information. You wake up, you know, like, is the world going to blow up or is it not going to blow up?
Right.
Or you see some cute cat things. Like, you know, you see some happy things. Those are the best ones, when you wake up and you turn on news and you see like cats doing their thing and people.
So you know, like, you're safe for the day. You know
you're good.
Right. Right.
You're not waking up and it's not like the world's exploding. Like,
yeah.
Like,
no, I like those days better too. You know, Fridays are I think everybody's favorite day, and you know, unfortunately, with Trooper May passing away during that chase, and that happened to be on that Friday. I know it was just awful. And, you know, it was like we all were. Those are the days that really, by the end of the day, we're just beat down, and nothing you can do about it. And but for the most part, we don't have days like that, and we're able to have more cat videos and and things like that. So yeah.
You guys are great, and I appreciate your time. I got one more for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm from New Jersey, it's always like, I got one more question. I got one more for you. So that's what I do. Mm-hmm. Your interview style is tremendous.
Thanks.
I watch you on very good, brother. Like, I mean, I'm a big fan. And like, where did you get that concept from? Because I know like broadcasting is one thing. I work for radio. I've done a lot of things, but when you interview someone, it's a different approach.
Sure.
So like, do you come up with the questions? Like, do you do research? Like, what's your formula?
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything. And for instance, even just today, I had to get Bobby's information because I don't know much about him. So I did just Google him, find out about the fight, and there was an interview that he did recently about his fight with Goldberg, and I was able to. I wouldn't, I don't want to take anything. I don't want to steal anything from that interview, but I was able to at least kind of figure out what's going on because I am clueless with what's been going on with the WWE, except for the main players. But I think one of the things that really helped me was when I did work for E, because those celebrities, they have big egos, and you don't want to screw up with them. And what happens is you get the sheet, right, of who's going to show up at the movie premiere. You get a sheet and it's full of celebrities, and you do your research on all of them. But there's always those that show up that are not on that list, and they expect you to know who they are. And it could be like, a C-list actor from, Felicity or The Hills back when I was doing it, or a reality show. Like some of these contestants that are on a reality show, they think you should know them. So one thing I learned quickly, and this is something that it happened to me, and I fell for it, and then I'm like, oh, I see what they just did there. Celebrity comes up to me, and instead of saying good to meet you, they say, hey, good to see you. So, and then I think the first time I took the bait, I'm like, oh, we've never met. Well, that just made it awkward. So you don't ever want to say nice to meet you in case you have met them before. So that was like one thing that saved my butt. And then I had to just keep the questions open, very open-ended. So if it was like, I'd have to ask like, so what's going on? Catch us up to date for people that haven't been watching, catch us up to date on what's going on with your character. And usually that will get me a little clue of where we're going. And I mean, I literally may not even know what show they're on. And by the time the interview is over, I know, I do know. So I think E really helped because you really had to be careful with these egos. And what's funny is it wasn't the A-listers. They were fine. They got it. They knew. They're like, not everybody knows who I am. But it was like the ones that were trying to become famous, but kind of had that one role. And, it was a fun time. So, that along with, I don't really like having questions. I like just to listen, and just, guys like you and me, we've been around the block. We've had experiences with everything in every category that we've even, that we've talked about. So I think that really helps me. Lately, since things are happening on Zoom and you're not in person, you're not being personable, you don't really get a chance to talk to them during commercials. I've tried to stick a little bit more to the scripted questions. And also, as you know, the More Show is a sales-based show, so you don't want to sway too far from the message that they're trying to get out, because it's important, or else what happens is you have to wind up doing the interview again, or they get mad at the salespeople. How come Feinberg didn't bring this up? So I think when it comes to the More Show and sales, I try to be a little more to the script. But yeah, it's a little combination of all of it. But that E really helped. That when I worked for E.
When interviewing, it's all about adaptability, like vibing off the person. You know, like you could vibe them right away. You do a great job with that, and I've seen that. You do your research, obviously, like in what I do with my interviews. But at the same time, what I do is like let me just engage in this person. Like whenever I have a show, I've had many people.
Yeah.
And I love to talk to everyone, but I'm like, this is their show. It's not mine. So wherever they want to go with the course of the show, like I know about them. I could go there with them.
Right.
But it's like, if they want to steer the wheel that way, great. Like, sometimes people just want to talk about nothing. I've had Eric Roberts on numerous times.
Right. Right.
The last time we spoke on an interview, great actor, amazing. Yep. I've worked with him on a film set. And then
Star 80.
Oh my God, don't get me started on that one.
Great movie. Great
Probably one of his best roles, right?
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah.
Absolutely intense.
Mm-hmm. He was intense. Or in that he's one of those actors. He's one of those character actors that the William Dafoes of the world, and he can freak you out. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, too, it's like, it's so funny. Like, I know him on a personal level. He's nothing like that in real life.
Really? That's awesome.
Nothing like, he's like the coolest, like genuine, like down to earth. Like, you've interviewed a lot of people yourself, like John Travolta.
Yeah. Yeah.
How awesome was that?
What was cool about John Travolta is he would actually request me. And that didn't happen that often because we had some big people over at E, Juliana, and even before that was Steve Kameko and Jules Asner. They were the ones that would get most, like George Clooney would only talk to Juliana. So it was real cool that, I did have some celebrities that wanted to talk to me, and John Travolta was one of them. And it was pretty cool. He's a great guy. And I felt awful when Kelly passed away, because I interviewed her too quite a few times. What a delight. And so that was really sad for me.
Man, it's like, to unpack a lot of the things that you did for E. Like, I know you interviewed a lot of people, a lot of red carpet things that you did. And I gotta say, like, to be around people like that, and when they don't disappoint you and they're cool.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does happen once in a while where you are disappointed, mostly because you're a fan. And then they pull something on you, and it's like, oh, I really wanted to like you, and your true colors are coming out. It didn't happen very often, so that was nice.
That's great when it doesn't happen very often, because I just recently, I've been in the music business a long time, and also doing now films and whatnot. And luckily, I haven't been too disappointed yet doing podcasts. I pick and choose like what I want to do, not to be a diva of any sort, but you could almost sense it when it's coming. But then sometimes, like, you're around people and you're like, whoa, this person.
It's going to be a long interview.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But this one was a great interview. You're going out tonight. You're going to have some drinks. You're going to have some fun. You got your weekend. You don't have to do any news until Monday.
Till Monday.
Jason, you are remarkable. As soon as I saw you guys, you, Alyssa, and the whole team doing your thing on the news about, I'm going to say 8 months ago, or maybe a year ago, when the whole COVID thing, or maybe 2 years ago, COVID started. So everyone's watching the news.
Right.
And I was like, these people are fun. This is what I want to watch. Like, and so I wake up every morning. That's my pattern. Me and the wife, we put it on. And like I said, you make it fun. You guys make the news fun. Like, there's a lot of terrible things, catastrophic things that go on in the world, like horrible things. And you guys report it, and you do it, honestly and genuinely. But then you guys find a way to make it everything, like, you segue into a more charming environment where it's not so just like one way traffic. I think that's the best way to put it. And I think you guys are great. Like, the whole team, it's absolutely amazing. And I sometimes watch other news, and I'm not going to mention those aforementioned outlets or outfits or whatever, but they don't do it like you guys do it. You guys have something special there. You guys are an awesome team. All right. Speaking about team.
Yeah.
Again, here we go. One more. Anchorman, the movie.
Oh yeah. Of course. I mean, you have, and I tell you the truth, anything Will Ferrell does, I'm a fan of. That was a great movie. I think I probably quote and use clips more from Old School than I do Anchorman, but they're both just great, and he's amazing.
Okay. So here we go. We're going to go off the rails, and this is why I love your news broadcast, because this is what you guys do a lot. Okay, so Old School.
Yes.
There's many, many quotables. All right. The dart in your neck.
Oh, yeah.
Pull what out?
Yeah.
The dart. You got to
I love you, man. You're crazy.
That one. Yeah. Now we go to Will Ferrell quotes, Step Brothers. Hey, like when John C. Reilly says, "Do you like guacamole? Boats and hoes?"
Oh my God. Yeah. And the interview scene when they're wearing the tuxedos.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think probably the one from Old School that I think I use the most. It's not the funniest, but it pertains is because we all love our free time when we have it. But the whole we have a nice little Saturday plans. Yeah, we're gonna go to Bed Bath & Beyond. Maybe a little Home Depot. I mean, it was just, and the college kids are looking at him like, drink the damn drink. Take the shot right now. We don't give a shit. And it was that Frank the Tank. That was so funny.
A nice little Saturday. Home Depot. I don't know if we have enough time.
We have enough time.
I don't know if we have enough time. And that's exactly what it was. And they were so amazing. And I think that was around the start of like when the 40-Year-Old Virgin popped off.
Mm-hmm.
Other films, like comedies, came back. Remember like Bachelor Party back in the day with Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks, yeah. Should I call you? Was it what was it? The guy with the stripper. Should I call you Nick or Mr.? What was that? He's like,
it's Mr. Dick.
Yeah. I remember that was good.
And you can curse on this. It's okay.
My favorite.
iHeart doesn't mind, and Spotify doesn't mind.
Okay, good. My favorite, and I know that you have to like some of this guy's movies.
Okay.
And I miss him terribly, is John Hughes.
Oh wow, of course.
Come on. And it's still, his movies are still relevant today. I mean, 16 Candles, it probably, in fact, I think my shirt looks a little like Jake's from 16 Candles.
Yeah, your shirt game's on point today, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like underdressed over here.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm going to go out. So, and I got the collar because I normally don't even wear a collar, but I'm doing the collar because I think we're going to go to Circa. And if you go up to the 66th floor, I believe they make you wear a collar. So that's why.
Oh, for real. All right. So listeners, please understand that you got to wear. I've been to Circa and it's very nice. Yeah. Very, very awesome. And good eateries.
Yep.
Very good eateries. And that's the thing, like, I'm glad that we're all seeing Vegas come back. My wife's back bartending. I'm doing my thing. And people are coming in and traveling. Hopefully we're safe. But you got a place like Circa, like that's really cool. And then, again, you got SummerSlam tomorrow.
Oh, I know. That's gonna be
dude. You gotta hit me up and let me know what you see.
Like, okay. Oh, I have a question for you because I know you're a boxing guy.
Big time.
Does this Ugas have a chance?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I could be wrong. Anything could happen. It's boxing. Right. Okay, so let's take a look at Manny Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. He's a veteran of almost 70 fights. And he was willing to go against one of the best in the world, against Earl Spence.
Right.
So that means he's confident. Ugas, good fighter, but he's had a couple losses, several, I'm going to say he hasn't had many knockouts. Let's put it that way. So he's had a couple losses. And the complication I have with that is that he's not at that level. And people could say like, he's a little bit younger. Well, if you do the facts and research, he's actually 35.
Oh,
Manny Pacquiao's 42.
Yeah.
That's only a 7-year age difference. And Manny Pacquiao just beat Keith Thurman. And, you know, quite frankly, I thought he whooped his ass. And so I'm a big boxing guy.
Right.
Anything can happen. I respect anyone that gets in the ring. I like Ugas as a person and as a fighter. But Manny Pacquiao, I just think he's on this path.
Yeah.
And I think he really wants a guy like Earl Spence. I think he wants a guy like Keith Thurman. I think he wants a guy like Floyd Mayweather again, which I don't think Floyd's going to do. You know, he wants to do the YouTubers, and that's okay. It's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
He can do whatever he wants at this point.
He's Floyd.
Yeah. I know. All right. Well, good to know. I always, you know me, I'm always looking to see if there's an underdog that I can put some money on, but I won't do it with him.
Okay. So I don't want to advise you if you want to take chances, like you mess around at the sports books.
Yeah. But not much money. But I like to put like $10 on a long shot.
Okay. So Manny Pacquiao, I'm going to give you this. Manny Pacquiao is a negative 400. Which means Ugas is probably like a plus 20.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but I don't want to do it if it's, I want to be right. Like for $10, it's more about being right than winning the money.
You know what I'm saying? But it's all about street cred. It's all about being right. Like I picked it, I got it.
Right. Exactly.
100%. What do you got for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder coming up?
I like Fury, and I'm going to the fight. I was supposed to go to the fight. Obviously, it got postponed. The cool thing is I'm friends with Dina and Bob from Top Rank.
Yep, Bob.
Yep. Yeah, they're great people. So we actually always hang out. And Dr. Roth, Dina's husband, he does all of the basically plastic surgery after the fights. But so I like watching Fury. I think he's a character. So I'll probably put a little bit of money on him, and I'll go to the fight in October.
Yeah, I'll be there, and hopefully we can hang out and have a couple beers, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that. We'll exchange numbers and meet up.
Hey, Jason, this was amazing. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything you do for the world, because everything you guys are doing, I'm going to be honest, is great for Vegas. It's great for the world. Anyone that watches it, you guys are moving, putting the needle forward and making people happy. Like sometimes people wake up and they see things that it's like, oh man, this is going on in the world. And then next thing I know, I put on Fox News and you got a cat video.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy.
And you saw firsthand that I actually do have a live cat. Because a lot of people think that I make it up. I do make up. I say every cat is Dr. Feinberg or Katy Perry, and they could be from YouTube. But at least you saw on this podcast that a cat does exist in this house. At least one. There are two, but
a cat does exist, and
you could see
certainly exist.
You can see Dr. Feinberg's eyes. She's up there. You can see her eyes up on her little.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so she's watching from back there.
Well, I appreciate you so much, man. I want you to have a great and safe night tonight, and I look forward to seeing you on the news on Monday.
Okay,
and
sir.
Also, hit me up, and I can't wait to see or hear your thoughts about, SmackDown SummerSlam.
I will. I'll make sure to mention it for sure on Monday. I'm going with one of the producers, so I'm sure he'll make some room in the show.
Dude, you're gonna have some great seats, huh?
I'm probably. It's like the media section, so wherever they put us.
Oh wow, media. Okay, real quick, media section is so good because the wrestlers will actually heads up. I know you haven't been to an event in a while. They will get thrown on you.
Oh God, great.
Yeah, they will. It was crazy, bro. Like I'm sitting there and I'm watching it with my wife and my stepdaughter. We were at a SmackDown event. John Greco, like I was talking about before,
right,
hooked it up, gave us great seats, front row, like
oh my God.
we're right there. It's amazing. And then a wrestler gets like thrown on us. And I'm like, oh my God. It's okay. I like it, but I'm like, I'm looking after my wife and my stepdaughter. Right. I'm like, these guys are huge.
Right.
And then they're going through tables right in front of us.
Okay, I can't wait. All right.
Oh, you're gonna have a blast, bro. You're gonna have an immediate. Cool. It's when you hear that canvas like hit, and like when you it's so.
It's gonna bring back memories. Okay, good.
It's gonna bring back childhood. Jason, thank you so much, man.
All righty, I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Johnny.
Thank you, man.
Okay. Bye.